I was just sitting here and I'm uploading. I'm making my content. I'm doing a thumbnail for the video that I'm posting on YouTube right now about the healing being linear, and then just kind of like my message, and just like little revelations that I've had about my healing journey. And then I go into a tarot reading, right? And I'm sitting here and I'm talking to myself because I realize like some of my manifestations is coming through, and I realize how basic my manifestations are. And I say basic because these are just really simple things that, when you're not vibrating, when you're not loving yourself properly, and when you're not vibrating at a frequency where you should be getting the things that you really do deserve, and you're not learning certain lessons, it seemed like, okay, it takes you forever to get things that are very simple. We're talking about like being and having like good friends, being around like-minded individuals, um, having a relationship where there's equal give and take, where the person is putting in effort just as much as you are. And these are really simple, basic things, right? But as I'm sitting here, I'm telling myself like these are so basic and mundane. It's really me also saying like, damn, was I really selling it for less like that? Because a lot of times, like when you start your spiritual journey and you like really like, there's so many different avenues that you go down. You can go down when it comes to spirituality. You can start learning about the different ethers. You can start learning about the different, there's realms and there's different levels of ascension, right? So you could be learning about the 4D, you could be learning about the 5D, you could be learning about the 6D, you know what I'm saying? You could be learning about your physical body and what your physical body is compounded of, and the electrons and the neurons and the protons, right? There's so many different things that can be taught about spirituality. You may just be in meditation. You may just love crystals. You may just be watching tarot. But there's so many different components to spirituality that make up who you truly are, your higher self, right? And I feel like wherever you are, I feel like at some point on your journey, when you're really undoing everything that you kind of have been comprised of, right? You start peeling away layers and you start retraining your brain to think a different kind of way. We just call it healing, and we're like, oh yeah, these are traumas and triggers that I have. But we were really living this lifestyle. We were like dealing with people who weren't good friends, family members who we felt like we had to deal with because it was family, right? Just being in low vibrational toxic ass relationships. Like, I know I deserve better. Why am I dealing with this? Like, and it's like, it's so crazy to think that you finally wake up and the most simplest thing just be like, so you was really settling for less like that out here? That's how you was moving? Like, it's crazy. Like, I just had that aha moment, that realization, like, you was really out here moving like that? Really? But when you think about it and you like when you're on your spiritual journey, you really strip yourself raw and you really try to find ways to connect with people because of how much you're disconnecting. So you try to grasp onto old friendships and relationship dynamics because you are changing so vastly. And I think I said to myself like over the weekend, I was like, damn, like none of the girls that I grew up with are around anymore. I've had a friend that passed away, two last year in 2022, people that I was friends with for 20 something odd years, their family, they're not around anymore. It's like, I'm a totally different person. I'm on a totally different journey. Like, things have totally changed. And what seemed difficult at one point ain't difficult no more. Like, nah, why would I hang out? Why would I do? Why would I move? Why would I? It's just crazy how much my mindset has changed and how I see it affect my reality, right? And so it's crazy how when we start this spiritual journey, how much undoing we are really doing. You know what I'm saying? It's like we are undoing so much. When you first start, you're like, I think for everybody it's gonna be different, but for me it was like I was crazy about angel numbers and tarot readings. You're so concerned about what this person is doing or what people are thinking about you and all this, you're getting all this juicy tea on everything. Then you discover that energy is fluid. It may not be your story, even though they do say that in tarot. We say that as tarot readers. You get to find out, oh, well, this is relative. This could be about a movie that you watched. I've had tarot readers read, and then I go and I watch a movie. I'm like, that was about a movie I just watched. Or it could be a friend that you talk to. You be like, girl, I heard that in a tarot reading. Or just, whatever, right? Everything is not relative to you, but it's happening around you, and it's just so many different components. It's so many different components. And when you finally step away from it, like when you start detaching a little bit more, like where I am, I've shifted so many times from starting this journey in May of 2020, after the separation or whatever from my twin flame. Yes, I have a twin flame. You know what I'm saying? It's even just how I feel about my twin flame and the journey in itself has changed. I also just heard the word triggered, so maybe that's triggering my twin flame. I don't know. Yes, because I just saw a number that I know was associated with him. 2 of them, actually. So, it's like, the things that we wanted so badly, they're like, it'll come. The love, the relationships. Well, love you first. Go work on you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think a lot of times how I get succumbed to the energies that, we're not trying to be Christians, right? In Christianity, it's like, oh, you got to denounce and give up and do away with. I don't operate like that with my spirituality. I know there's some things that I cannot engage in or do because it throws me off spiritually, right? But it's like at the very core of myself, I am very much my shadow self before my spiritual self, before I've been enlightened, before I was awakened. I'm very much still that girl. And I can turn her on, right? And I can turn it off. But it's crazy how we really lead with our hearts and our spirits when we first start this journey, because we're like, well, why isn't everybody loving and caring like we are? Because everybody's not. People are so surrounded by so many, people are more surrounded by more toxic things and things that keep them in a low vibrational state than they are high vibrational things, because one, it takes you to be in isolation, and everybody can't hang with themselves. Everybody don't like themselves like that or love themselves like that, and it's difficult because when you really are in the thick of this spiritual healing stuff, you are alone. You don't have no friends. Don't nobody understand you. You're going down a rabbit hole on social media by yourself. This brain got so much product in it, y'all. It's driving me crazy. But you just go through it by yourself. It's very difficult. It's very different. It's very different. But for the ones that are chosen, the ones that are called, the ones that do the work, the ones that stick through it, the ones that's not belittling people, the one that's just observing and seeing energy and people for what they are, and you saying, okay, that's not for me. And you keep it moving, like, I don't know where you are right now in your journey, but it gets better. It does. I feel good right now, and it's been a while since I really felt like, God, I'm in such a reflective space. For one, probably because we have this full moon coming up. So, of course, naturally, I'm in a very reflective state. But I feel good about it, which also, the full moon is in Leo. So, and my top lid will not stop jumping. It's been doing it for 2 days. But I know it's a sign of prosperity and good luck. So, I shade to me. I block any negative energy that wants to come out here and try to, no, baby, I return and send her all of that negative energy. You hear me? I'm protected, love.